Good morning and welcome to my live stream. I'm your host, Bob Pace. I want to give you a warm welcome this morning. This is um, a live stream. That means everything is happening for real, but it's also devoted to helping you all with your CPS matters. Now, most of you may know what CPS is. I didn't really know. I didn't even know what the word CPS means, but what I call it is a child protection systems. There's a system in every county and every state. There's also systems around the world. This is a worldwide podcast. And I'm on twice a day. I'm on in the morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on the weekends, it's 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm on every night of the week at 7 p.m., either weeknights or weekends. It's always 7 p.m. And I may deviate the time from time to time because things do come up. Now, I've been doing this live stream now for 20 months, over a year and a half. I've talked to over 2,000 people from 23 countries, including the United States, and all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. Now, it's an interactive live stream, means that you all can participate in this. You can do emojis, smiley faces, thumbs up, hearts, even semi-stars. Also, please click the follow button to follow me if you want to be notified when I be on. Okay, good morning, Dorothy Cook, and such a pleasure to see you. Dorothy Cook is a loving mom from the East Coast in North Carolina, and she's very helpful in my room all the time because she helps me emphasize things in there. Now, as I say, this is worldwide. I've talked to people from Indonesia and from Bangladesh and India, and then in the Middle East from Libya and Saudi Arabia, and then over to Africa, from Liberia to Sudan to Republic of Congo, then over to Rwanda, to Mozambique, and then to South Africa. And I have a mom that calls in all the time from South Africa, Leica. And then we go up to Europe. We have the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, we have Canada. And as I mentioned, all the states, the United States, including Washington, D.C. South of the border is Mexico. And then in South America, north of Brazil, is Grenada on the East Coast. Then across the South Pacific, we have New Zealand, and then the land down under, Australia. So it's a wide variety of people. So I'm so glad to have my family here. Dorothy is one of my family. What I mean by that, people come here and become regulars because I do help and people get encouragement from me and not to give up. It's very hard dealing with CPS. A lot of the county agencies are bogus. They've gone rogue. They'll retaliate, they'll lie, and they'll ruin your life as a family. Their goal is to make as much money as they can. So it's $1 trillion business. It's all about money. Now, there's two kinds of reporting. There's your mandated reporters. These are your professionals like school teachers and doctors and policemen, firemen. They're required by law to report it. Then you got the lay people, your family, your friends, your relatives, your in-laws, cousins, and all those things, people at the store. Those are the lay people. Well, it seems like lay people get it right maybe about 20% of the time, and 80% is wrong. But I was really surprised about the professional mandating. They only get it right 50% of the time. Of the 4,200,000 cases last year, 200 million were bogus. That is a big number. That really is scary. And it tells me a lot. It tells me a lot. Now, 75% are due to negligence and 25% are to abuse. Now, abuse is where it gets physical. Negligence is where lack of nutrition, a lack of caring for the child, etc., etc., etc. But anyway, these two kinds of people have to report it. The sad part is in CPS, you're guilty until you're proven innocent. Every other court of law, you're innocent until you're proven guilty, but not in CPS. You're guilty. So right away they think you're guilty, and right away they have a habit to come to your home, to knock the door, to get in, and then take your children. Now, you don't have to open the door to anybody. They have to have what's called a warrant. And there's a lot of fake warrants out there. Now, warrants can be only served by the police. So if a social worker has a warrant, it's no good. It has to be served by the officer. And it's got to be the date. It can't be a date on the holiday like a weekend, or a date during the weekday that was a holiday, because it isn't legit. It's a copy. It's a fake warrant. And believe me, they use those all the time. They will lie all the time, and the police are dumb because they will go and follow them. They don't know that much about CPS. And I'm not saying all police are bad or all social workers are bad, but in my case, they were. And in a lot of other people, I think over 2,000 people, they were. So, it's really kind of hard to determine, because a lot of times lay people use it for revenge against a spouse, against their yard encroaching the person's yard, or maybe the dog is barking too much. They'll do any way they can to make false allegations. But you got to be careful. You got to document everything. That's my rule number 2, is documentation. Rule number 1 is the first thing you need to do is get an attorney. You need to get an attorney. They will try to appoint you an attorney, because if you're not low income, then if you can't afford one, they'll try to appoint you one. But that attorney works for CPS. That attorney is not trained in juvenile law, family law, dependency law. And that attorney is too lazy. He's also got a caseload of 30 to 100 clients. That's way too much. You can't devote that much time to your case. And if he's in criminal law, this isn't a criminal matter. This is a juvenile law, family law, dependency law matter. That's what this is. So you really, should think about that attorney. Now, some of you mentioned that you're going to call in, and let me go ahead and talk about some of the other things here. We have some other things here, such as you want to text a message. All I ask you is that you make either a comment or a question, and it should pertain to CPS. It must pertain to CPS. And all I ask is your first name, your city or county, your state, and if you're outside the United States, your country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from the beginning to where you're at. That's all it is on messages. Now we have, thank you, Dorothy. She's really helped me out here. All right, Amanda Thomas Heaney, I'm glad you do. Whereabouts are you from, Amanda? And hi, Antenna Eve. I know Antenna Eve is from California. And I said that Dorothy Cook is from North Carolina, but I don't know where Amanda is from. But glad to meet you there. Okay. Another way that you can be on my interact on my live stream is to be a guest. I had a guest yesterday, very sincere woman from Nevada, Las Vegas, and she was a mother at 16, and she had 3 children, and one she lost at birth. And anyway, she had different fathers, and she's been in and out of drugs and all kinds of problems. But she was on my show yesterday and did her best to talk about her case. So I love when people want to be a guest on my show. I can have 9 of you. All you have to do is contact my show producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com. Email her with one of my 14 shows you want to be on. You can just say, I want to be on Bob's Sunday morning show, or Bob's Saturday night show, or Bob's Wednesday morning show. You just pick morning or afternoon, and you pick up one of the days of the week, and then you get on there. She'll give you a link. You just copy it, put it on your browser, and then you'll be on an application I use called SteamYard. SteamYard further uses YouTube to transmit. Now, there's a lot of things that this can do right now. We have a new, um, I guess it doesn't work when I'm putting things on there. I thought maybe it did. Now, when you do get that link, if you happen to get knocked off, you can get back on again. It's easy as that. Also, there's no profanity. There's no eating food or or smoking, and there's no uh, using the first names of children or using any names of children, judges, or social worker. No names, please. No names. Now I'm going to put my phone number up. So I think that's what most of you may want to be calling in. So here goes my phone number. To call in, you just call me at Bob Pace at 626-698-0990. And you call in. And you can be live on my show. Being live or being a guest will get you a free 15-minute private Zoom consultation with our attorney, Mr. Davis. He's the guy that is above my right. If you look at the screen, it is above my left. Well, it's on your right when you look at the screen. It's on my left. But that's Vincent W. Davis. He's the attorney. He's fully qualified. He'd love to represent you. I had hired him, and he helped me get my family back together. He's a real deal. He has 39 years of fighting CPS and getting children back. He's gotten back thousands of children. He also is a trial attorney. He can do trials too. And further to that, he does civil lawsuits with cases that are over. Once your CPS case is over, you can do a civil lawsuit here. Okay, we got a caller coming in here. Good morning. This is Bob Pace on the live stream. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to? No, this is Bob Pace, secretary and everything. I'm one of all. I don't have a secretary. Yeah, I am live, and so are you. You're live on my phone. Yeah. Sure, sure. First of all, what is your name and where are you from? Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. And so, what is your question? Well, I just use the letter CPS because it's easy because there's a half a dozen names. I could go here and tell you DCS, CPS, Department of Children Family Services, Department of Children's Services, the cabinet. It's just easy for me to say CPS. But when you flag down, the police stopped you, and did you tell them what had happened first or what? Okay. Yeah, they're probably too intoxicated, and when you have somebody that's intoxicated, they're neglecting their children. That's the downside of drugs and alcohol, smoking, and so forth. If you're going to have children, I hate to tell you, it's like you got to refrain from drugs and alcohol and smoking unless you can do it privately. No, but they're gonna come down on you, and that was bad. Now, why wouldn't the Uber driver take you to your home so you get your wallet? How old is your child? How old is your child at the time? She's 5.5. And why were you drinking so much with your 5.5-year-old child? Okay. Was this at a party? Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's recount this. The time you were drunk with your daughter, was that in Florida or Missouri? Okay. So that's not your home jurisdiction. What was in Florida for you? Okay. Well, yeah. Well, the residence becomes when you start to pay utilities or pay rent or something there. Once you start to pay rent or you pay your utilities, then you're considered a resident. Um, I don't know what advantage it's going to get you. First of all, the CPS should have turned it over to the Missouri CPS. And they, yeah, they're going to try to get a hold of both parents. Now, my question is, what happened with you and the father? Were you ever married? Who is listed on the birth certificate? Who was listed on the birth certificate? Was there a father listed there? Well, then he's not the father. He may be the presumed father, but he has to take a DNA to prove he's the father. No, I'm talking about right now with the CPS case because right now they can't presume he's the father. That can work in your favor. That can work in your favor. Um, right, right. Yeah. No, they. Here's the thing: is in CPS cases, the father a lot of times is always presumed to be the father, but he must be on the birth certificate, and the birth certificate must be presented in court. Yeah, so don't give it up, and you need to fight it. You need to tell CPS that you are the child's mother, and you said you have paperwork that shows you're the guardian. What did the CPS say when you said that? Right. They don't. They don't. Yeah. No, they're just trying to make money off you. They're just trying to make money off you. Is all they're doing. Florida is really, really bad. Florida is really bad. Yeah, that is funny. Yep. Yep. No, and then a court appointed attorney is not going to help you either because it's like you're trying to do open heart surgery yourself. You're not a doctor. You don't know how to cut open the cavity and take the heart out and work on the heart. That is how bad CPS is. It's real critical, and they will also lie and they do revenge and they will make it really miserable for you. So, how old is your son now? Oh, I'm sorry. Was this your daughter? I thought it was your son. Okay. Well, how old was she when she threw up? When you threw up, how old was she? Oh, this just happened recently. Then you're in the beginning stages. Yeah. Well, you can insist that your daughter be with you in Missouri, and you're right. You can request the ICPC and have that done to transfer the child back there. How'd they get a hold of the father? How'd they get a hold of the father? Yeah, that is true. That is true.
She was never, I made a mistake and I was right there and made a really, really mistake and I affected a lot of people's lives right now and trauma and drama and stuff to it. But they are making my daughter into this and bringing people in and out of her life. And it's like, this was not what it was before. We had before you guys had this and you're supposed to be for the children. You're making my child need therapy now.
Okay, hold on 1 second, ma'am. Intended Eve, who's in my room, uh, she already has filed an ICPC. When you filed the ICPC, where did it go? Well, wait a minute. Did you say how they know that? How do you know that man is her father? Well, exactly. But how come CPS is taking that position? I would question them about that. I don't know. The thing is, typically CPS want it done right now, so they want it to be proved. So they want a fresh test today. Well, within the next couple days. But have you shown them your court order that says you have custody of the child? Have you shown them that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They want to get money. It's all about money. So well, the money doesn't come from you. The money comes from the federal government. The government sends out billions of dollars to the state. The state sends out millions to the county. It's $1 trillion business, is what it is. And they make money from they don't make money off the parent. They make money by keeping your children in custody because they get awarded that money. All the county does is turn to the state and say, I need a couple $100,000. I mean, one of the things they get right off the bat, they get $20,000 a month for every child that they have in their possession. And if it's a special needs child, they get additional $15,000 more a month. And if they get adopted into foster care, they get 35,000. Yeah, it's a money bracket thing. Well, you have to have a lawyer. That's the biggest problem. And if you can't afford a lawyer, then one will be appointed. But the appointed lawyers are so bad that you'll end up losing your case. Does the father have the funds and the attorney? I mean, does he have the funds for an attorney? Well, Missouri would get the money. Yeah, Missouri gets the money. ICP will get the money for transferring the child. Yep. See, Florida will have to pay ICP. Well, just think of open heart surgery. I just, uh, I just can't picture myself knowing all the laws in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law without using an attorney.
Yeah, Florida, especially $14 an hour. You know, like, do this. And
Right.
be able to, like, can't afford my doctor.
Well, they need stability. They need stability.
Yeah, it's like I'm set for failure because I can't even expense 0 for for what I'm making.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
Yeah. Understood. I don't know attorneys around the country. What I do is I tell people to follow my. Well, you need somebody since Florida's got the case. It means somebody in Florida. I have an attorney, but he'll cost a lot to come out to Florida from LA. Um, so I'm not even going to waste your time to talk about him. One thing you'll be able to do is you will be able to talk to him for free for 15 minutes. Anybody that calls in or a guest on my live stream gets a chance to talk to Mr. Davis for free. He's one of the top attorneys in the country. And so you can ask him all you want for 15 minutes, legal questions for free. And I'll tell you if you want that in a few minutes. But no, you don't have to go yet. I am. I'm only halfway through the show, so that's not a problem. No, no, no. Vincent Davis has. I've been fighting CPS for 15 years. I too was a victim of CPS. I had my three younger children. I've raised six children. Three of them were young, three of them were older, and they have families themselves. I once had a forever home, had a great job, but I lost my job in the summer of 2010 through no fault of my own. I had to go to what's called a Spartan lifestyle because I had heavy mortgage payments to pay on my home. I lived 1 mile to the beach in a very expensive neighborhood, private neighborhood. And so, um, in order for me to get my kids, I had to hire an attorney. So I sold my home at quick sold, and I lost a lot of money. I lost over $1 million. There's no question about that. And it's been hard. So what I've done is I've shared things that I've found over these last 15 years, what you can do and not do, things that get you out of trouble, things that will keep you still trying to get your child back. And the internet is a powerful tool. There's a lot of information on there for you. So what I was saying, if you're looking for an attorney, you need to find a quote for three of them. And the easiest way to do that is to use the internet and use Google browsing, not Google Chrome, not Edge, not um, Duck Duck or where that one is. None of those there. The best one is the simple Google. And so when you Google it, all you need to do is put the city and then the state and the letter CPS after the state. If you're in another country, you got to put your country after your state and then put the letter CPS. Also, you'll have to add, um, well, You can call them, but I think you're wasting your time. I think you need to get CPS in Florida to release your child. They should not be holding your child. They're holding it for abuse. Then you keep talking to them, they'll tell you. They will tell you because you have to keep fighting. That's the hardest thing about this, is to keep focus. Now I want to say hello to people here that have come in here. I have Tony the Tiger, who's Cassandra from Oswego, New York, and she's touching base with me because someone's trying to traffic her. She has a 13-year-old son that she's trying to get back, but CPS has got him doped up all the time. Then there's Christina Reynoso from Las Vegas, Nevada. She's very helpful. She's helping out a lot of people in my room here with their CPS matter. Yes, that was yesterday. That girl was yesterday, right, from Carson City, Nevada. And there's a girl named Christina Reynoso who's in Las Vegas, Nevada, is going to help her. She's going to help her. I've already put her in touch there. So I have people in my room that do help. But no, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a very wise dinosaur. I'm forever young dinosaur. And I've been working for 60 years. And right now I'm looking for a steady job again because I need to get myself out of the sandpit I'm in because I'm on very nominal money right now. Um, well, we get the pleasure of fighting CPS because they've been a thorn in our side.
Just, many people there is like just that
Yeah,
understand
I agree. I agree.
that it's you soon be 50 in 2 weeks.
Well, why was he threatening you? Did you make a promise that you'd pay him a retainer of 1250?
Stipulation that I'm going to do the least amount of work on your case as possible, and I'm going to tax you for damages, and I'm going to sue you for everything. But I'm thinking to myself, like, I got nothing for you to sue me for. But okay, that's what it is. Get
How
you
do you know he was?
get
How do you know he was a the right kind of lawyer? Did you ask for his background? Is he a, in the does he have juvenile law, family law, dependency law background? Did you get quotes from three attorneys that were qualified? You need to get three quotes. Also, you need to get references. You need to get three references for each of the quote. That's 15 people that and three references. If you didn't get references, you're hiring him blindly, you know. So you need references. I mean, yeah, and he's got to make sure you ask him two important questions. One, are you a juvenile law, family law, dependency lawyer who's won cases against CPS and gotten the children back? The answer is yes. The second question is, um, um, have you ever sued CPS when the case is over? Have you ever sued CPS both either federal court or state court? If the answer is yes, then you got yourself attorney that you can use. Well, if they don't have that background and the references don't check out, you don't want to use them.
Because nobody, we don't know any lawyer that will want to sue CCS because he said, number one, it takes a lot of time, and number two, you won't win.
No,
That's what he has told me.
that is that right there tells you they're not a CPS attorney. If attorneys chicken, see Vincent Davis will sue CPS. A good attorney will sue CPS. They're not afraid. That's why you ask that second question. The first question you ask if they're qualified, as a juvenile law, family law, dependency lawyer. The second question is, um, have they ever done a lawsuit and won money? And so, if they've not done those things, then don't waste your time with an attorney. They're a dime a dozen. Yeah. Well, this is what this room's all about. I sit here and help out people, and I have an hour twice a day, and I give encouragement, and I care about people. I'm a real human being. I'm a loving father and a husband. I have 42 years of marriage experience. I already told you how many children I have. And unfortunately, I had lost my job in 2010 through no fault of my own. And I was age 60. So I was really worried because I had very expensive mortgage payments to pay and I had all this other debt. So without the job, I had to go into what's called a Spartan lifestyle. So I was able to hold on my house for to 2017, where I had to turn the house over, and that was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking. Yeah, yeah. Well, I had to sell my house. That was my greatest asset, but I lost over $1 million. I had to sell it cheap and fast, quick sale. I sold it for as much as I paid for it. It's a $2 million home and I paid 853, and I was lucky I get some. And I had to pay off my mortgages with it, so it was not default. And then the balance left was what I used, and I didn't have much. When I lost that, when I did a quick sale, that was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah, there's a lot of things that people go through in this room, and you're great for calling in and coming in there, and I'll help. There was a couple weeks ago that was being charged with negligence, medical negligence. They were being charged not taking care of the daughter, and they were. But CPS cut in and had their daughter have their appendix removed, which didn't have to be removed. And they found out later it was gallstones. So they have a lawsuit. And they got their daughter back and everything, but they were so bad. But they in my room, I had them for 4 days. You see, I had them right after they determined. See, the pediatrician looked at their daughter and said, "Well, I can't really tell you what it is, but you need to go to the doctor." Everybody was thinking it was appendicitis, but it really wasn't. And so, yeah, that was just, oh, wow. It was too much. Anyway, well, attorneys are always fixed, but they want liquid assets. Attorneys have been stung too many times. So they want that. So what you need to do is you need to talk to a lender. They'll lend you the money. And you can put your house up as collateral. So yeah, and it's great that your mom wants to help out there because you know Vincent Davis, his retainer for a CPS case, typically, depending on how complex or how long it's been going on, is $5,000. He's $500 an hour attorney. And there you go. I'm giving you your first quote. And okay. Well, he's one of the best. Yeah. And so these attorneys out there, some are way too high, 800, 900. They're not worth it. 500 is a good fee for him. And, he is a fighter. He is a fighter there. But his retainer for LA County in California was 5,000. And the reason why it's more expensive where you're at or coming to Florida is he has to pay for airfare, ground transportation, then to stay at a hotel, and then some type of breakfast or some type of food every day. Yeah, right. Well, I quoted a couple. It was $125,000 for him to start on the case to come into Atlanta, Georgia. So that might kind of give you the idea. Well, there may be some legal questions. You're asking me some good legal questions. So, what I would suggest to you, since you talked to my live stream, please text me. My number's up on the screen 626 698 0990. Text me your full name, your email, and your phone number. And then I'll verify that you talked on the show. And then I'll send it to um, my show producer's email address. And she will in turn um, I've lost my train of thought there. Um, oh boy, we were talking about. Oh, she will set you up for a 15-minute private consultation with Mr. Davis. She'll let you know, give you the link. He'll be on SteamYard. And that's for free 15 minutes. And you can ask any question you want about CPS. It's all open there. You don't have too many attorneys offering, a free 15-minute private consultation for 15 minutes. Special ones have 1,000 children back and done lots of cases. So they're very experienced. So Vincent Davis is that man. Vincent Davis, right. So all you have to do again is text me your full name, your phone number, and your email. Full name. Yep, right. Nope, nope. All it needs is that, and then he'll talk about whatever questions you want to ask him. So try to be really constructive and make a list of questions that pertain to the most part of CPS you want to be involved in, and then make it quick. Don't forget it. Okay. Yeah, don't forget that. I appreciate you for calling in there. So there's people in this room that will talk to you and help you. Dorothy Cook's one of them. Christina Reynoso's one. Kaylee is another. All these are my regular people that come in here twice a day to support the show and help others. It's like family. And Tennant Eve is another person. And Tony the Tiger. There's also a lady that hasn't come in yet called Cruella from Oxnard, California. Tony is really worried about her life, so she checks in to make sure that she's all right because she's been trafficking and she's worried about her son. So, but that's who the people I have in your room, and a lot of great messages here from a lot of great people. But anyway, it was a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, and like I say, don't give up. Keep fighting for that. But there's some things like the ICPC, stick your ground. You're entitled to have the children brought to their home, the state of origin. And you're right about the father may be trying to get custody of the child. And you gotta say no. You don't want custody to go to the father. All right. All right. God bless you and you take care. I'll see you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Okay, that was a very sweet person that called in from Florida. She lives in Missouri and she has a kind of a complicated case. She has kind of a complicated case. Now, there was a lady that I was talking to earlier today that wanted some help. She's from Michigan, and let's see if she's still there.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hi, this is Bob Pace with the Law Offices of Vincent W. Davis. I wanted to talk and get back to you. My phone number is 626-698-0990. I'm doing a live stream, and I have right now approximately 10 more minutes before my live stream is over. So if you want to talk to me then or after my show, we can talk again. Uh, so I look forward to your call. Thank you. Okay, we had a lady that called in earlier today that wants help with her case, and I told her that she needs to call in, and I called her again. I'm so glad, Tony, that you're alive and you're okay. You worry me every day because I don't want to see you be a victim of trafficking. Now, Tony says, at the end of my case, my lawyer didn't do a thing in the court judgment. Um, okay, so we got that call out of the way there. Now, Tony, um, the grandparents that they're now trying to pull him back with. Oh boy. Now, I know you have the pictures of the harm your son's going through, your 13-year-old son. Also, he's kept underneath a lot of drugs right there, and you too. You need to keep away from the drugs. Um, yeah, the girl from Michigan. That's right. That's what I called Dorothy, and all I got was her voicemail. Um, let me see if I missed anything. No, I think I pretty much have covered everything. We have a tentative and Tony the Tiger and Dorothy Cook, and we had a new person that talked on the show too. Um, right now, I have about almost well, it's 11 o'clock, so that means my show is over. Tony the Tiger, glad you're okay as well. We all worry about this room. Also, I talked to Faye Manley. She's okay. She's okay, and she will talk to me today. But I am checking on a lot of people that sometimes are absent. Faye Manley is from Richmond, Kentucky, and had a horrible case. She has a 25-year-old son that needs to be assisted living with him, with her. He's a special needs child, so he can't be out on his own. I'm so glad Dorothy was concerned about Tony the Tiger. That was really nice there. I'm glad to see again in Tennessee. She's from California. And so we have New York and California, Missouri, Michigan. Okay, let's see who else we have in the room here. I've been really burning the candles at both ends. I have a lot of stress in my life. I'm supposed to get my car out of the shop today, and I need more money. I had some brakes done to make it safe. So money is always a hard thing to come by. I work for Bangladesh wages, and I have to beg to be paid every couple of weeks. But anyway, I have hope and I believe in God. That's what keeps me going on, is my belief in God. I think I covered everybody that's pretty much been talking in this room here. If I may have left anybody out, my apologies. But it's so glad to meet the new people and the regular people. I'll be on again tonight at 7 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast of California. I'll be on at 7 p.m. So I'd love to see you then. Anyway, there'll be a brief message from my attorney, Vincent Davis, when I sign off. Now, all of you, do not stop. You need to press on for your children. You can hang in there. Just be positive and try not to be too emotional. So with that being said, listen to my attorney, Vince Davis. God bless you all and have a good night. This is Bob Pace signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last